I'm here. Today I've got two quick tips that are going to give you an awesome one-handed backhand. Number one, you've got to start with your foundation, meaning your grip. Grip is extremely important with the one-handed backhand. Now I recommend either an Eastern backhand grip or a semi-Western backhand grip. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, when you look at the racket handle, I've given these little bevels here numbers, okay? There's tennis racket handles are octagonal, all right? So I've got number 1 on top, number 2 here, 3, 4, and 5 are on the bottom. The same thing for a left-hander now going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is on the bottom. Now, for an Eastern backhand grip, you want to take the index knuckle where I have that X and the heel of the hand where I have the X and place those on top, right on top, that flat bevel on top. That is an Eastern backhand grip. Now, a semi-Western backhand grip, which is going to give you more topspin, when you turn your hand this way. I'm right-handed, I'm going to turn the grip this way towards the number 2 on this side, and notice that closes up the racket face. This is the side I'd be hitting the ball on, it's facing down. So you want to be on either number 1, which would be Eastern, or number 2, semi-Western. I cannot emphasize enough that you're at those grips, one or the other. That's your foundation on any of your shots, is how you're holding the racket. Number 2, learn the rubber band effect. Okay, what do I mean by the rubber band effect? This is going to make your backhand effortless. Okay, a lot of people, they come back with their backhand and they stop and then they swing forward, and you can only get your racket move. Once you stop, now you're trying to fire those muscles forward. It's like being in a, well, what's a really slow car? We'll say, if you remember Yugo, they made those a long time ago. Trying to go from 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in a Yugo. That's not easy, okay? You want to get the racket moving, and that's what I mean by the rubber band effect. And I mean when you turn, okay, you turn on your backhand. Now from here you're going to pull the racket back and down. Now notice the racket will come into view behind my back. I pull that racket back and down. Okay, back and down, you'll see that racket come behind my back. Now, the only problem you may have when you first start this, your timing now is different. Because if you're in a stop position, okay, you can figure out, okay, there's the ball, boom, you swing forward. But now, to get the rubber band effect and to get that effortless one-hander, you've got to figure out when to start pulling the racket back, and so you'll meet the ball right out in front. So that's going to be the only issue you'll have, is getting that timing. But if you have the right grip and you learn the rubber band effect, you're going to have an awesome backhand. Okay, let me just give you a little better understanding of the rubber band effect. When you first turn, okay, you're turning. Now, I'd like your motion to be one continual motion. You may have a slight pause almost here, but once you start pulling the racket back and down, there's no pauses. You're going to just speed up, and you're going to be optimum speed at the contact point. So when you pull that racket back, that's when you're pulling the rubber band. Okay, as you start to pull that racket back, you're stretching out that upper back, the upper shoulder, you're stretching that out, the racket comes down, then you just release it. Just let it go, and it's effortless. So It's like that rubber band when you first start pulling the racket back, you pull it back and down and then boom, you just let it fly. Effortless feeling. If you don't have an effortless feeling, you're not getting it yet. So keep working on it. Okay, let's take a look in slow motion. Okay, the racket comes back relatively high. Now from here I'm going to start pulling the racket back and down. Right there, I've pulled the rubber band. Now from here I'm just going to release it. And this is an effortless swing here. Okay, at the moment of contact you can see the hitting arm is extended, the left arm is staying back, and the grip, I'm really on top of the handle there. You can see my wrist is in a nice strong position. Okay, another look in slow motion. I start to turn the shoulders and bring the racket back relatively high. And now right there, I'm pulling, the racket's coming back, and now watch, it starts to drop. Okay, right there, I've pulled the rubber band, and the racket will even drop further as I come up. Now you can see the hitting arm is extended there. The grip, the hand is right on top of the handle. This is going to be key for your success. Okay, the ball has just left the strings. You can see the hitting arm is extended and the left arm went in the opposite direction. Okay, slow motion from a side view. Racket comes back relatively high. I'm pulling the rubber band there, pulling the racket back. Now it's dropping down. Okay, I've pulled the rubber band. I'm releasing. Okay, there you can really see the hand is on top of the handle. I'm almost at a semi-western grip there, semi-western backhand. The arms go in the opposite direction. You can see the finish there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe to the channel. Post any comments or questions below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So remember those two tips. Number one, the grip. Number two, the rubber band effect. So get out there and make it a great one.